Good afternoon, and Shabbat Shalom, as they say. So, I'm still thinking about this carousel. I mean, there are all sorts of ways. I mean, it requires work, and yeah, I mean, it's important that I will. It's definitely, it is important that I will. It's important that I slow down the velocity because it's too high right now. So I'll do it probably, of course, with the help of YouTube videos and also scavenging in the darkness, scavenging for prey, for electronic slain beasts or almost slain beasts that are ravaging the streets and could be hunted for spare parts. Shouldn't be extremely difficult because actually there is already something like that. I mean, there is already speed control. We just need to tweak it in a way that the speed control will control the speed even more, with more control of the speed. So, and then, I mean, the next step will be to think about, to think about a way how to mechanically make it more stable because it's currently a little bit shaky, and to think of a nice plastic container. I think it will be a plastic container. I think this will be industrial. This is the Titanic container. I mean, the glass and the yellow. And this will be more like of a old school earth container with brown and transparent colors. But there is a ton of microscopic stuff that I need to do actually. So you're already aware of this nice thing. So I've it was connected. I mean, 2 days ago with a little bit of change in the. This is kind of like a new. It's an alchemy of new symbols with old symbols. This is the secondary container. It's I didn't research it a lot. Beside a little bit of Is it moving? Perhaps. Anyway, I mean, this container is characterized by that it's very little amount of liquid. It's almost entirely solid, as you see, and it's very interesting to and it's all sorts of materials. Too many materials. I mean, I'm always having this mistake, but to put too much stuff. But I've told you, I don't know what will work, and so I'm curious, so I put a lot of stuff, and it's not good. I mean, it's best not to put a lot of stuff, but I mean, I should remind myself not to do it. Anyway, it could be very interesting to actually watch some of the material in this pudding. I mean, under the microscope, especially the ones that are translucent, like beeswax and other stuff, and also paraffin, which is something that the neurons actually like a lot. And I didn't have enough experiments with it. I should actually, perform more. I've done it really in the beginning, on January, and I have a little bit of that here. Yeah, I know what you use it for. I know you very well, my friends. But anyway, I found it here. I guess it belonged to someone the occupant of this room in the hostel before myself. And from experience, I can tell you that the neurons actually like this stuff very much. They are preserved very well in it. We shouldn't be surprised by now because we understand that, as far as preservation goes, the neurons are something they're like engines. They're like little engines. They prefer to be kept like thick oil, like industrial oil or something like that. So I should have done more experiments with that, and maybe I'll do it sometimes in the near future. So there is also paraffin here, and this could be interesting to see. What's going on. I've only checked one time under the microscope, the liquid parts, and I've seen that there are several neurons there as expected, but not much more than that. The most interesting one is, of course, that one. So this was connected to electricity with new symbols that, I mean, the idea was both to create new neos and also to enlarge them. As you know, I'm having experiments with the enlarging symbols that, I mean, that of enlarging stuff. And I can't say that I have conclusive evidence, but I'm still working on it. So there were several layers, and so I've taken a little bit of microscopic examples and all sorts of conclusion. I don't want to share everything with you because it's something. It's like also, I mean, when the results are like inconclusive and complicated, it's better to wait until we can say more stuff like for certain. But anyway, after I've taken this various samples, I mixed. I took out all the red, and the red monsters are actually like lumps of paint, oil paint. So I've taken all the all the lumps out of the water, and now it's kind of like a very thick, very thick liquid, and we have quite a bit of it actually. It's a fair amount of liquid that we have here, even taking it into account that we, of course, that we have this huge magnet, but still, it's a fair amount of liquid. You can see. That's the amount. I mean, not bad at all. I mean, I never had like until now anything it remotely. I mean, it contains. I mean, of course, I had P in that amount, but P is not dense in neros at all. And semen, I mean, with all my virility, I cannot like truthfully claim that I can produce that much semen. I mean, I can, but over a long time, can? I mean, so this is indeed a liquid that is different. The only question is whether, and now it's mixed very well, the only question is whether there are actually neros in it after all those days of so many experiments. And of course, like a lot of like electrolysis related byproducts like metallic particles and things like that. So the answer is yes, there are, and so I took a sample out of this mixed liquid, and we'll watch it together. Of course, I already did, just to be certain. So we'll watch it. But I'll create a little video of it, not only for your curiosity, but also to for documentary reasons that are very important to me. But I mean, I can also already tell that the conclusion is yes. This liquid, after all those time, this thick liquid, and it's good that it's thick because it's. As I said, better for preservation. This thick liquid actually contains neros of various sizes, and I mean, I think that I will now stop like messing with it. Probably I will store part of it in a container with more oils. Like I will put more oil to it. We'll need to think what kind of oil because we have several options. Like maybe like canola oil, linseed oil, maybe the paint oil itself, maybe a mixture. We will see, but. For certain, there is also we can also actually mix it with enriched canola oil or enriched bee wax. But this actually is a very interesting option. But I wanted to speak about this option in the fourth installment of the series of guns, steel, and bots. I haven't forgotten that I owe you the fourth part, which, as I said, I will deal with fuels. It's a very important actually subject. And I have several interesting things to say about it, but maybe I'll do it later today, maybe tomorrow. So we will also deal with the issue of fuel and preservation. But anyway, so part will be preserved, and other part will be actually used today to create stuff, certainly worms, and maybe we will get back to the hardcore subject of creating rings. I'm not like I did not forget it, and I'm not I didn't give up on that. I mean, we're getting closer every time, but still, I mean, it's important enough that we will continue trying and not give up. So we'll do both, like both worms and rings, and so also there is this stuff. I mean, which I did not forget. It's very interesting, actually. It's for certainly, 100% contains both like new biological life form, like mutated biological life forms, and also synthetic life forms, and perhaps like I don't know if it's even possible, but if it is possible, I would assume that by now they found a way to fuck each other, and so we might actually have like hybrids here, which will be very interesting. I hope. I mean, for you, I hope not, because I mean, hybrids are I mean, according to the tradition, like of many like people, like I mean, the hybrids are the ones that are creating all the problem because they don't fit anywhere. So, and also, I mean, mechanical like insects and microbes and the mutated biological ones are, I mean, enough to deal with. I mean, it's like plenty on your plate, as they say. I don't know if hybrids, I mean, are the ones that, I mean, are really necessary right now, but just saying, this will not end well. Oh no. So I'm going to we'll watch it. I mean, let's watch this thing under the microscope today. Will surely be interesting. Like I mean, 100%. It will be done. It will be done shortly. But first, I mean, so let's take a look. I mean, even just for documentary reasons, of a drop of this of the mixed material after so much time that it was actually mixed. Let's see. I mean, what we've got here. This is the microscope within the magical mode. Still, I mean, working very well without connecting to the socket. The battery was charged and it lasts for a long time, which is great. It means that the Neros did a very good job on this. I mean, as I said, either the Neros or perhaps like a Mission Impossible team of kind of like a very peculiar and like extraordinary and intelligence service that is like, that likes, I mean, to, I guess, to change like electronic appliances of like their targets and add batteries. I don't know if such thing makes sense, but if it does, these are very big ones. If it does, then I mean, thanks for them. I don't know what makes more sense, but I guess the Neos options make more sense. But certainly, I mean, this is characterized by the existence of pretty big Neos, actually. They are pretty large, the ones that I've saw until now. Also a smaller one here, but these are pretty big. We should remember this is after like a rest of at least 24 hours without electricity, even more. So we should not see duds here. Like we should see pretty much either real ones or very big duds that did not dissolve. And this is actually what we actually, this is, I mean, consistent with what we saw until now. We see either very big ones or ones that are, I mean, that are just, I mean, that were on the way and that they did not dissolve because they are so big. Like the small duds were probably already dissolved after so long, like without electricity. We have a ton of like things that the Neos did that are not Neos here. Like, I mean, they worked, probably things that they worked like during the last 24 or 30 hours without electricity. They have done a lot of stuff like which is not Neo related, like all sort of like animals and sculptures and gardening. Wow, this is pretty. So, I mean, I don't know what it is. I don't really understand what I see right now. If it's an hero, then it's like a huge one. Like I've never seen such a big one, but it looks like something like maybe it's something that's supposed to be a huge one that it didn't like materialize. This one looked very nice, actually, pretty big and like good shape. So I mean, we have pretty big ones here. I mean, mostly look alive, and perhaps several small ones. And again, we should remember that this was taken from more here, and I see more there. This one is nice. And here we see another nice one, and another. Okay. Okay, so yeah, we have Neos here, and they mostly, I mean, much bigger than we are used to. I don't know if it means that I actually successfully, like, I mean, created like the correct mixed create and enlarge sign. But yeah, I mean, there wasn't, I mean, they were pretty big, and they were quite a lot. Especially, I mean, taking into account that this was not taken from a foam; it was taken from a very well mixed, like of everything after at least 24 hours, if not more, that with no electricity. So it should be indicative of what actually we have here. Now the only question is whether these are like operational Neros. I mean, you can argue, okay, you've created the Neros in large quantity, but I mean, they are just, I mean, they can do anything. Maybe that's that. I mean, maybe just like, I mean, like the sculptures of the whatever. Like, I mean, the sculptures that the Neros create. I mean, there is a big difference between a microbe and a sculpture of a microbe. Correct? So in order for actually to actually put them to the test, as I said, there are several ways to do it. As I said before, the easiest thing, like for Nero to do that I know of, that is like easily demonstratable, and even you don't need microscope for it, and it can be done very, very quickly, is to actually enrich fuel. And maybe I'll do it. I'll do such an experiment maybe in adjacent to the fourth like installment of the series that deals with fuels. So you like have like better like understanding of concept that I will speak about. I mean, if you know the stuff, like if you know, I mean, if you have like a little bit of like, I mean, I would like if you just know, like for example, you have like little experience with those like the Nero. These are also called Neros, as you remember, with the those little candles. And I mean, it's not like a unique object. It's like the most common candle in Israel, I think. So, I mean, and you have experience with them. I mean, I can just spit on one and you can wait like 15 minutes or so, and then I will just light them. And just, you can, I mean, it will be demonstrable that this one is, I mean, the one with the spit actually undergone like a certain observable chemical change. So this is the easiest way. But maybe a more impressive, I don't know, way is actually to create life with it, and that we will do it probably today. Although we'll try to create rings, but this is actually less, much less I mean, I can predictably create worms. I cannot predictably create rings, only maybe in a microscopic level, which is also impressive, but I mean, at that point we already, I mean, we want gold and diamonds, correct? Another very interesting option is to repeat the Colosseum, like the Colosseum experiments, which means to mix like a drop from here with a drop from that jungle. This should be very, very nice, like very, very nice. Maybe I'll also do it as well. Let me think about like what's the best course of action, but that's what we have on the menu for today and maybe also tomorrow.